Hello everyone. Today we are going to learn about nephrotic syndrome. First one, definition of nephrotic syndrome. Nephrotic syndrome is a primary glomerular disease characterized by proteinuria, hypoproteinemic edema and hypercholesterolemia, hypoalbuminemia and hyperlipidemia. Because of gross proteinuria, serum albumin is low, that is less than 2.5 gram per dl. Nephrotic syndromes is a group of symptoms in which first one is proteinuria. Proteinuria means protein present in the urine. Hypoproteinemic edema, that means edema due to decreased protein in the blood. Hypercholesterolemia, that is increased cholesterol in the blood. Hypoalbuminemia, that is decreased albumin in the blood, and hyperlipidemia, that is increased lipid in blood. And because of loss of protein lost in urine, that is proteinuria, cause serum albumin level low, and that level is less than 2.5 gram per dl. Next one is etiology. In etiology, primary renal causes. First one is minimal change in nephropathy. What is minimal change in nephropathy? That is large amount of protein lost in urine. Normally, in definition, we have seen first one is proteinuria, that is loss of protein in urine. Same as minimal change in nephropathy, large amount of protein lost in urine. Next one is glomerulosclerosis, that is scarring and hardening of the glomeruli. Third one is acute post-streptococcal glomerulonephritis. Acute post-streptococcal glomerulonephritis is an immunological response of kidney infection characterized by edema, hematuria, proteinuria and hypertension. And last one is immune complex glomerulonephritis, that is granular deposition of immunoglobulin, and it is visible by immunofluorescence microscopy. Next, systematic causes. Systematic causes, first one is infection, second one is toxin, that is caused are mercury, bismuth and gold. Third one is allergic, bee sting, inhaled pollen and food allergy. Next, cardiovascular causes, in which sickle cell disease, renal vein thrombosis and congestive heart failure. Next one is malignancies, that is leukemia, and others are include systematic lupus erythematosus and anaphylatic purpura. Next, pathophysiology. Alteration in glomerular basement membrane. Alteration in glomerular basement membrane, it leads to altered glomerular protein permeability. Protein permeability altered leads to increased loss of protein in urine. Now, lots of protein loss in urine, it leads to decreased colloidal osmotic pressure. Now, osmotic pressure decrease leads to one edema. First one, due to decreased osmotic pressure, edema occurs, and second one is due to osmotic pressure, vascular volume is decreased. When vascular volume is decreased, that leads to decreased renal blood flow. Vascular volume, because of vascular volume decrease, it leads to decrease in renal blood flow. Decrease in renal blood flow leads to increased secretion of aldosterone. Aldosterone is one hormone. Increased secretion of aldosterone leads to tubular sodium and water reabsorption. Because of sodium and water reabsorption, it leads to edema. Next, clinical manifestation. Normally, four main symptoms of nephrotic syndrome are proteinuria, that is protein present in urine; hypoalbuminemia, that is decreased albumin in the blood; hyperlipidemia, that is increased lipid in blood; and edema. Other symptoms are shortness of breath, mild headache, fever, rash, joint pain, weakness, malaise, anorexia, weight gain, periorbital edema, that is edema present around the eyes, ascites, that is fluid accumulation in the peritoneal cavity, hypertension, anemia due to loss of RBC, flank pain. Flank pain means discomfort in abdomen and backside, and last one is fatigue. Next is diagnostic evaluation. First one is palpation. Due to edema and ascites, kidney cannot be palpable. When we done palpation, because of edema and ascites present, we can't palpate kidneys. Second one is urine analysis. In urine analysis, we can see hematuria and 24-hour urine total protein estimation, in which urine sample shows proteinuria greater than 3.5 gram per liter per 24 hours. When we seen about proteinuria, that means per liter greater than 3.5 gram, means more than 3.5 gram protein is present in per liter per 24 hours. Next one is blood test. In blood test, we can done BUN. BUN means blood urea nitrogen. Normal range of blood urea nitrogen is 6 to 20 mg per dl. Second one is serum creatinine and serum protein. And last one is lipid profile, shows high level of serum cholesterol, that is 200 mg. Next one is comprehensive metabolic panel, shows hypoalbuminemia and albumin level is less than 2.5 gram per dl. Next one is needle biopsy of kidney, ECG, KUB X-ray. KUB X-ray means kidney, ureter and bladder X-ray. Renal ultrasound, renal scanning and intravenous urogram. In intravenous urogram, to visualize abnormalities of the urinary system. Intravenous urogram. Intravenous urogram means through visualization of abnormalities of urinary system. Next one is management, medical management. The goal of medical management is to reduction of protein excretion. If causative agent is streptococcal, then treated with penicillin antibiotics. Prednisolone is drug of choice. Daily dose of prednisolone of 2 mg per kg per day orally in divided doses for 6 weeks is given. Thereafter, 1.5 mg per kg as a single dose on alternate days for 6 weeks, after which treatment is discontinued. Normally, when we start first treatment of prednisolone, we will give 2 mg per kg per day orally in divided dose up to 6 weeks. After that, when symptoms is reduced, we will give 1.5 mg per kg as a single dose on alternate days for 6 weeks, and after that we will discontinue the treatment. Proteinuria disappears within the first week of therapy, and negative dipstick test for 2 consecutive days shows positive response to treatment. Frequent relapse are treated by alkaline agents such as cyclophosphamide, given 2 mg per kg daily for 12 weeks, nitrogen mustard, cyclosporin and levamisole. Diuretic and salt poor albumin may be indicated in presence of severe edema. If severe edema present, diuretic is given. Diuretic means diuretic given when urine output is decreased, but when edema is present, when edema is present, why we give diuretics? Because of diuretics increase urine output, and because of increased urine output, lot of sodium and urine is excrete from the body. Furosemide, that is diuretic, is given 1 to 44 mg per kg per day in 2 divided doses, may be prescribed. We will give furosemide on prescription. As a nurse, we can't take step to give furosemide. Next one is dietary management. Children should take a well balanced diet rich in protein. Sodium is restricted when marked edema is present. Provide high protein and high carbohydrate diet to patient. If disease in advanced stage, then avoid protein intake because it is affected to kidney. Water restriction may be indicated if decreasing salt intake does not control edema. Nursing management, nursing diagnosis. Risk for infection related to immunosuppressive drugs. Fluid and electrolyte imbalance related to edema. Impaired skin integrity related to disease process. Altered nutrition related to anorexia. Altered kidney function related to disease condition, and knowledge deficit related to disease prevention. Care during hospitalization. Child is hospitalized from initial therapy. Patient may not understand importance of hospitalization because initially the child is symptomless. During hospitalization, parents should be involved in child care and goal setting. Nurse should regularly monitor the vital signs and check the child's daily weight. Monitor signs of infection in edema. Detailed chatting of intake and output must be done to monitor child's response to medical therapy. Intake and output chart must be maintained to observe the medical therapy's response, and daily urine examination for albumin is required. Second one is administer the prescribed medication. Children with nephrotic syndrome are receiving steroid, so the nurse must be aware of the side effect of these drugs. Patients should be observed for gastrointestinal bleeding, gastrointestinal ulcers, hyperglycemia and cataract. Steroid is continued till the child is protein free. Thereafter the drug does decrease gradually. Maintain fluid and electrolyte balance. Nurse should monitor serum sodium level of the child. Fluid intake either oral or IV should be strictly monitored. Child is assessed for venous status, ascites and pulmonary edema. Daily weight of child is accurately documented. Prevention of infection. The child is on corticosteroid therapy, that is immunosuppression, and there is loss of immunoglobulin in urine. So these children are the greater risk of infection. Strict aseptic techniques should be used during invasive procedures. Monitor vital signs for early sign of infections. Isolate the child as he is on immunosuppressive therapy. Promote rest. Provide passive play to the child as tolerated, that is watching TV, reading story or books etc. that will divert the mind of child. Allow a period of rest after activities. Limit visitor during acute phase of illness, that is leads to infection to the child. Provide emotional support. Explain parents about the disease and its treatment. Allow the patient and child to express their feeling. Due to sudden weight gain and disturbed body image, child may manifest with behavioral changes, may refuse to look at mirror and has decreased interest in appearance. Enhance the body image of the child. Encourage child to wear own clothes rather than hospital clothes, as this make the child feel good. This is no condition normally seen in the children, so we have to give emotional support to children through these steps. Discharge plan. Explain to patient about treatment program, follow-up and risk of relapse. Encourage patient to measure child's weight weekly in order to identify early fluid retention. Tell them to contact doctor if any unusual symptoms appear. This one is most important. Tell the child's parents if any of unusual symptoms occur, immediately contact their doctors or physician. Increase intake of fruit and vegetables. No potassium and phosphorus restriction is necessary. Thank you so much for attending the lecture.